In the 1990s, Sean Diddy Combs controlled hip-hop's gates from boardrooms and platinum studios. Across Queens, a young 50 Cent survived South Jamaica's violence, losing his mother before he was 9. When 50 Cent's 1999 track named industry giants, including Diddy, as potential targets, it sounded like provocation. After he was shot 9 times and then dropped by Columbia Records in 2000, 50 Cent said the music industry, led by executives like Diddy, wanted him silenced. What most dismissed as trolling, one warning after another, may have been the pattern we missed. The question is, how did this rivalry really begin? And what was 50 Cent seeing that the rest of the world was not ready to hear? Bad Boy Records launched in 1993 with Sean Combs at the helm. He turned the label into a symbol of commercial success and polish. Diddy rose quickly, moving from intern to executive, signing artists like the notorious B.I.G. and Mace, and shaping the sound of East Coast hip-hop with radio-ready hits and glamorous videos. The Bad Boy brand came to stand for luxury, high-profile parties, and industry power. Contracts were tight, and Diddy's influence stretched from the studio to the boardroom, making him a gatekeeper for artists hoping to break into the mainstream. On the other side of New York, Curtis Jackson grew up in South Jamaica, Queens. His mother was gone before he turned 9. By 12, he was hustling to survive, surrounded by violence and poverty that shaped every decision. The music coming out of Queens was raw, built on stories of loss and survival. For 50 Cent, authenticity was not a marketing tool. It was a necessity. Success did not come through industry connections or cosigns. It was earned through mixtapes that circulated on the streets long before any label took notice. These two worlds, one built on corporate power and the other on hard-won credibility, never truly mixed. In the 1990s, the divide between Diddy's polished empire and 50 Cent's street reality set the stage for a collision that went far beyond music. The tension was not just about sound or style, it was about who controlled the narrative and who was allowed to tell their story. In 1999, 50 Cent released a track called How to Rob. The song was a direct shot at the industry, naming rap's biggest figures, including Diddy, and describing how he would rob each of them. It was bold, funny, and dangerous. Exactly the kind of record that made people notice. But it also painted a target on 50 Cent's back. The industry did not take kindly to a newcomer calling out its stars. Columbia Records, which had just signed him, started feeling the heat. Then, on May 24th, 2000, everything changed. 50 Cent was shot 9 times outside his grandmother's house in Queens. The attack left him hospitalized for weeks, fighting to recover. While he lay in a hospital bed, Columbia dropped him from his contract. The label cited the controversy and the violence swirling around his name. His debut album, Power of the Dollar, was shelved. He was effectively hospitalized and cut loose at the same time. Overnight, the industry doors slammed shut. 50 Cent later described this as being frozen out, not just by one company, but by a network of powerful executives who saw him as a liability. No direct evidence ever tied Diddy to the blackballing, but Bad Boy's influence loomed over the business. For 50 Cent, the lesson was clear. Industry power could erase everything you had built, no matter how real your story was. By 2001, rumors started swirling that 50 Cent might join Bad Boy Records. Instead, he found himself in and out of studio sessions with Diddy, not as a rising partner, but as a hired gun. Eyewitnesses from those sessions recall 50 Cent in the background, pen in hand, contributing to remix work and uncredited writing. There is no official paperwork, no ASCAP credits, no producer invoices, but the stories linger. For 50 Cent, these moments were not about loyalty or ambition. Years later, he said bluntly that he was there for the check, not the camaraderie. He called it a move made out of financial necessity, not respect. The partnership was transactional, shaped by the reality of being frozen out by the rest of the industry. Diddy, still at the center of the music business, held the power. 50 Cent, still recovering from the fallout, did what he had to do to survive. Their alliance was uneasy, more business than brotherhood, and never built to last. Eminem and Dr. Dre changed everything for 50 Cent. In June 2002, he signed a deal with Shady Aftermath, a move that instantly flipped the industry script. No longer reliant on the old guard or gatekeepers, 50 now had the backing of two of hip-hop's most powerful producers. The impact was immediate and impossible to ignore. When Get Rich or Die Trying dropped in February 2003, the numbers spoke for themselves. 872,000 copies sold in the first week. The album shot straight to number one on the Billboard 200, breaking records and dominating radio. Suddenly, 50 Cent was not asking for a seat at the table, he owned it. The G-Unit brand exploded, with albums, tours, and business ventures that made him financially untouchable. This new autonomy meant he could say what he wanted, when he wanted, without fear of being silenced or dropped. The days of working behind the scenes or playing by someone else's rules were over. 50 Cent was now calling his own shots, and the industry had no choice but to listen. Negotiations over Mace's future drew a hard line between 50 Cent and Diddy. After years away from the spotlight, Mace wanted out of his Bad Boy contract to join G-Unit. 50 Cent offered a deal that broke the mold. Mace could keep all his profits, a move unheard of in an industry built on percentages and recoupment. But Diddy refused to release Mace, holding tight to the paperwork that kept him under Bad Boy's control. The talks dragged on throughout 2004 and 2005, with no sign of compromise. Mace confirmed the standoff in a 2005 interview, saying Diddy blocked the deal. Frustration boiled over as 50 Cent went public, accusing Diddy of exploiting artists and using contracts to lock down their futures. In interviews and on tracks, 50 Cent called out what he saw as a pattern. Artists left waiting, deals stalled, money kept out of their hands. The failed Mace transfer was not just a business dispute. It became, in 50 Cent's eyes, proof that the industry's power brokers would do anything to keep control, even if it meant holding artists hostage. Instagram and Twitter became 50 Cent's personal archive of suspicion. Over a decade, his posts built a visible pattern, more than 20 direct jabs at Diddy between 2012 and 2023. Each time Diddy's name trended, 50 Cent responded with a meme, a sarcastic caption, sometimes a rhetorical question. What really happened? You all see this? The timestamps tell their own story. In March 2014, a meme mocking an old Diddy interview gained 500,000 likes. In November 2015, a post about Diddy's new business partner racked up 1 million views. By October 2020, after news of a lawsuit, 50 Cent asked, "What's the real story?" That post drew 2 million likes. The cycle peaks in September 2024 when a reposted video after Diddy's arrest pulled in 5 million views. What looked like trolling in the moment now reads as a digital dossier. Each post is another entry in a long record of public suspicion. Ciroc and effin' vodka turned hip-hop rivalry into a business competition with real stakes. By 2016, Diddy and Ciroc were pulling in over $250 million in annual sales, a symbol of his dominance outside the studio. When 50 Cent partnered with effin' in 2017, sales surged by 300%, and the feud spilled into marketing campaigns and interviews, each side mocking the other's hustle. The alliance between Diddy and Rick Ross, beginning in 2009, added fuel. Ross, once a target of 50 Cent's attacks on his street credibility, now stood shoulder to shoulder with Diddy at public events. Old footage from 2003 and 2008 captures forced smiles and stiff handshakes, moments 50 Cent later described as uncomfortable. In a 2020 interview, 50 Cent said plainly, "I never felt comfortable around him." By the time lawsuits and federal raids hit Diddy in 2023 and 2024, the pattern was clear. What once looked like trolling was now being seen as a decade-long warning, replayed in every awkward clip and court filing. Today, the industry is in a reckoning with truths once dismissed as trolling. As lawsuits and headlines rewrite reputations in real time, The power of early warning and who gets believed matters more than ever. Sometimes the echo is not noise. Sometimes it is the only alarm we get. What do you think?